It's my pleasure to have you here. Welcome to the presentation about CloudHSM. I'm gonna talk about what makes our CloudHSM different to hyperscalers and their KMS offerings, about the various features we offer within our CloudHSM solution. You heard it this morning, our Cloud Console, the new auto-provisioning platform we have launched recently. We have a kind of a deep dive into that, sidetracked by our new online documentation, which makes onboarding much easier. Let's kick off the presentation with some insights on cloud adoption. First question, which was raised in a survey, was how strong is the use of public cloud within organizations? Here we see the figures of 2023. So like 65% of companies reported heavy usage of cloud systems. 1 year later, this figure raised by 6% to 71% of companies. They state that they are using cloud services, public cloud services, heavily, whereas the ratio of moderate and light use reduced slightly. So this change of, or this adoption of cloud infrastructure goes in line with some changes in organizations and how IT is operated. On one side, companies going into cloud environments, they decrease their internal IT infrastructure. So they have less systems, or they even dismantle data centers of their own. Secondly, they have new challenges. They have challenges like security or compliance questions popping up. And of course, new cloud environments require different skills that they had internally. The next question was looking at how they operate their cloud environments. And interestingly, like only 12% of the respondents reported that they are deploying their workloads and their systems in one single cloud provider, as single public or single private, where the vast majority stated they are using multiple cloud environments. And thereof, you see that really the big amount is using some kind of hybrid cloud deployment form. On the top, we have multiple private, but then we have multiple public. So having their workloads in and their data in different hyperscalers and public cloud environments. And this figure has changed by +2% compared to the last year. I think that this hybrid cloud approach pretty much represents how organizations evolve and how they transform from on-premise deployment to a cloud approach. So I think this number of multiple cloud or private cloud will rise further in future. Now we look at what data is transferred or is about to be transferred to public cloud infrastructure. On the horizontal, we see kind of data categories like sensitive data as consumer data, corporate sales data, non-sensitive data, or to the top right, like other sensitive data like intellectual property, research data, and so on. Whereas on the vertical, we see where the companies are planning to transfer that data to. Our focus here is on the sensitive data. we see that roughly 60 to 66% of the companies are planning to move data to public cloud. And about 1/5 is stating that they are moving all their data to cloud, all their sensitive data to cloud. And this is again an increase by 2% to the year before. So now the question comes a bit, what's about data protection then there? As you might know, the invalidation of the privacy shield, which was ruled out by Schrems II ruling in the European Union, is kind of resolved for the time being. Since July 2023, there is the new transatlantic privacy framework in place, and it was accepted by the European Commission to be equivalent or providing the equivalency of data protection requirements in the European Union. But again, I think it's just a question of time, and the first organizations already stated that they will challenge that ruling in the European Court of Justice once more, and we're going to see what the outcome will be. So from that perspective, currently it's okay, but maybe it's changing again. On the other side, Swiss as well as European data protection laws sometimes require more measures to be taken when migrating sensitive data to the cloud. So these effects we have seen in the public cloud environment, or this drive towards public cloud, has also an effect on how we manage keys. On one side, with a cloud-only strategy, you probably don't, or you see on-prem hardware deployment as impracticable. So you need another solution. You don't have your data centers, you don't have your hardware in place. Secondly, as we have seen that many companies are driving towards multiple cloud environments, a central key store becomes very beneficial. Else, the cross-platform handling of keys is not possible. Then we also see that standard APIs are still relevant. Hyperscalers typically offer different forms of key management systems, but they don't offer all the traditional APIs. And looking at data protection, whatever the ruling will be or what challenges will come to the current ruling, having an additional layer where users control their keys will enhance that kind of gap and protection layer and makes a solution future-proof, whatever the ruling will change to. In our CloudHSM service, we have considered all these aspects. We have brought the solid protection for cryptographic keys to the cloud. But let me make this very clear here. Our CloudHSM is not just a software-based cloud-deployed product. It's instead the deployment and the offering of managed HSMs in our data center, where we make key management, key handling, and key storage available to you or to customers remotely. The CloudHSM is capable of handling multiple use cases. from key management systems, document signing, some of them were presented this morning, like HashiCorp, etc. PKI solutions, crypto custody or blockchain environments for software signing services, container signing. Docker was mentioned this morning. Database encryption in various forms like TD for Oracle or always encrypted with Microsoft, as well as identity access management solutions, which are easily integrated with CloudHSM, or privilege access management solutions, TLS termination, and of course, typical hyperscaler close solutions like bring your own key, double key encryption, or XKS. There is talk afterwards by AWS about external key store. And these special solutions, which are having hyperscalers or have been brought up by hyperscalers, are also addressing this kind of data protection requirements I mentioned before, because they are feeling there is some regulatory requirement to have additional control over keys. With bring your own keys, the keys are basically created offsite in customer environment and then brought to the hyperscaler. Whereas with double key encryption or external key store, you have like a double encryption mechanism deployed where the keys for data encryption is hosted also outside of the hyperscalers. So enhancing the control over that key material. Just briefly, a bit of a who is who. We cover over 30 applications and more. And the cool thing is our CloudHSM is based on the very same, or is providing the very same APIs as Primus HSM. So whatever you integrate and is working with our on-premise HSM is basically working also in our cloud system. And if you have integrated on one side on an on-prem, you can easily transfer also to CloudHSM, our managed HSM. So what are the advantages of CloudHSM? First of all, it's fully managed. You don't have any operational headache. You don't have to train your personnel to operate and be capable of managing the HSMs. And it's up and ready, just ready for you to use. You don't need any hardware, so you don't need any data centers. You don't need any rack space or have energy questions. This is all covered by the service. We talk a bit deeper about the easy onboarding, but especially with the Cloud Console, we have a straight way for any subscriber to start with the CloudHSM service. And additionally, we have lots of integration documentation. We call it application notes, guiding you step by step how to set up the service. A relevant topic for a cloud service is compliance. The whole cloud operation is ISO 27001 certified, and we are operating the service in best of class data centers in different regions. I mentioned it briefly. We offer with our service all the standard APIs, ranging from JCE, Java cryptographic extension, PKC ES11 for legacy implementation, CNG Microsoft cryptographic next generation API, as well as REST API. And then all the excellent feature set of Primus HSM is available as well. TSB, Transaction Security Broker, which allows to work with smart key attributes. This means you can easily implement multi-authorization schemes. So somebody has to approve that a key can be used. Different cryptographic or crypto asset feature sets like BIP32 or SLIP10 is available. And of course, now all the PQC algorithm set currently in round 3. And with the next update to version 3.1, we're also going to have the finalized PQC algorithms implemented and available in the cloud. All the cloud is deployed in various data centers across different continents. The setup is always geo-redundant. So whenever you have a cluster with us, the data is synchronized between different HSMs in different data centers. This allows for 2 things: low latency from wherever you are, and secondly, to be in the jurisdiction you want to be. And overall, the solution is very cost efficient. It actually has a lower total cost of ownership than owning and operating identical hardware, identical setups on your own. Okay, let's break down shortly the different packages we offer in CloudHSM. On one side, we have a so-called multi-tenant offerings. This is economy, or in short, Echo and Echo CC and Sandbox. These are like our standard offerings, where a subscriber to the service is getting a partition on a multi-tenant HSM cluster. The economy is the standard offering for productive system, productive environments, whereas the economy CC is a special cluster running in CC certified software version and is restricted to FIPS certified algorithms. So the economy cluster is the much more versatile environment. The same approach we have with Sandbox, but this is purely for testing, so for integration or for development environments. Besides the multi-tenant HSMs, we also offer dedicated HSM as a service. On one hand, Platinum, which is a subscription to an HSM cluster where the whole HSM is reserved for one single client. These HSMs can be deployed in the data centers where we are present. And to the top right there, HSM Operation Service is basically that the customer is owning the HSM and we operate it for them in our data centers. So in one side, the Platinum is a subscription model. On the HSM Operation Service, there the HSM in ownership of the customer and we operate it for them. And based on the Echo service, we offer special bundles for bring your own key, for example, for Azure or for AWS. DKE, we have a special offering. This is the double key encryption for Microsoft. So working together with Azure environments and Microsoft Office desktop app, or XKS and others. We have built over the last years a very strong presence globally with data centers and clusters of the economy for the economy services. We have Echo Switzerland. We have Echo Europe. We offer Echo from US. We have a Singapore cluster. And we also offer a world cluster, which spreads over 3 continents. And the data and the keys are synchronized within these clusters. This also shows the very well working high availability feature set of our Primus HSM product as such. Of course, these are the locations and the predefined clusters for Echo service, but for dedicated HSM like Platinum or HSM operation service. Customers can select from the data centers we have available, and we deploy the HSMs in these data centers according customer requirements. Let's go now to Cloud Console. We recently launched an instant provisioning self-service portal for Cloud HSM. By this, it becomes even easier for subscribers to start with Cloud HSM. Whenever you select a service on Cloud HSM or the Cloud Console, it's instantly deployed, and you can start with a pay-as-you-go environment. All the details you need for the setup and the documentation of Cloud HSM is available now on all our online documentation. You find there all the details about Cloud HSM, what services and what functions and features are supported, but it also has a huge gallery of application nodes, guiding you through integrations with all the different solutions I just showcased, like IAM solutions, PAM solutions, working with Docker, HashiCorp, and so on. So this is all well documented in step-by-step guides. So how do you start with Cloud Console? After creating and registering your account on the Cloud Console, you add in your profile, your payment method, and you see all the services which are available listed either overall or in the different categories. You select the service you want, you get indicated what regions are available, then you select the additional options. There are very little options you can select, add-ons for blockchain or crypto asset management, and then you're basically done. Immediately, you're going to get the onboarding credentials, and you start integrating your application to the service. For Sandbox, I'm excited to announce an exclusive opportunity today. We offer, for a limited time, a 90-day free trial. So we encourage everybody to try it out, to start right away and testing the capabilities of the Securosys CloudHSM. So in a nutshell, what makes CloudHSM so interesting? Cost efficiency. It results in lower total cost of ownership compared to on-premise HSMs, and it reduces all the upfront cost, and it has lower maintenance expenses overall. Enhanced automation. With Cloud Console, you get immediate access to the partition you order, and you heard it this morning, record is 27 minutes to onboard yourself on the Cloud HSM system and create your keys. Oh, sorry. Scalability and flexibility, of course. You don't have to invest in hardware. You don't have to set up hardware. So you just scale up. You take the services you need and roll the applications out which need HSM support.